Hello and welcome back to the channel. First off, I'd just like to say a big thank you to everyone who has supported the channel thus far. It's great to see the comments and the love and support you guys have shown me over the wide variety of content I produce, not only on this channel, but the blog and the podcast as well. And if you haven't checked out the podcast or the blog, please head over to www.tier1me.com and check those out there. Today we are going to take a look at another one of my custom creations, or mainly custom paint jobs. Some of you may be familiar with the other guns I've produced thus far in the Cyber Gun for Mars, which I turned into a sort of Destiny-esque scout rifle, or the Gears of War P90, which I created from an old Cyma swordfish. If you haven't seen those, the videos are on the channel, check them out. Possibly not my finest work, it was the very early days of the channel, so please bear that in mind. But today we are going a bit cowboy, or space cowboy maybe, and that is in the form of my ASG Dan Wesson. I believe that's how you pronounce the surname, Wesson? Yeah, certainly not Weston. No. And you may or may not be familiar with the ASG gun right off the bat. This is the longer 8-inch barrel, and they're very good guns right out of the box. I've got no complaints with the way it works. Obviously, it takes a little gas canister. You have specific shells that work with the gun. If I just pull one out, I won't pull the whole thing out. Specific shells, take one BB and one round at a time and load in. You can spin the barrel if you're ultra cool, whatever. Anyway, really nice gun, and I wanted to mess around with it and try a bit of engraving work, which arguably, depending on your style, likes, has or hasn't worked out particularly well. It was my first attempt. I bought a very cheap Dremmel tool off of Amazon, and as such the little bits that you get with it possibly weren't the best. That's the excuse I'm running with anyway. And one thing I would point out is, if you are going to attempt to learn a new skill like this, perhaps pick an easier starting point. This being an all-metal gun was particularly difficult for these cheap little bits to eat into and to create a good effect with. Like I say, first attempt, learning curve, what can you do? But I did manage to get in and do the work I was hoping to do, which I then highlighted in a lovely gold accent paint. But the real pièce de résistance, let's go all continental on you, is the paintwork, which is, as you can tell, a chameleon paint job and changes colour depending on how and where the light hits it. And I quite like it. It's not a difficult effect to make and manufacture. You actually get the chameleon paint from, you can get it in a spray can, you can mix it up yourself. But this particular one, you can get Rust-Oleum as well, and they make great spray cans out of the box. And unfortunately, if you're in the UK, I couldn't find anyone in the UK that actually stocks it, and it had to be imported. So that's something to consider if you are a UK resident. And it's not cheap. These are a spray can of chameleon paint will set you back somewhere in the region of about 20 to 30 pounds really, and then you've got shipping in on top as well. But to get this effect, you have to lay down a base coat of black. The more coats the better. You want a really rich, deep black. And then you just simply spray this stuff over the top. And it's quite disconcerting when you first begin, because you can't actually see anything. It's almost like a transparent paint, if you like. It's just got little flecks and flakes in it, and that's what is picking up the light. But as it dries, it does dry to a sort of base, almost, I don't know if you look at it there, sort of like a base green. And that then is what changes throughout as you turn the gun through the various sections of light. It's a great effect. It works very, very well. It's a paint I'll be using in the future on some other projects that I've got coming up that hopefully I can bring to you guys in the next, depending on timescale, maybe the next month or so, which is an Ares ASO2 I'm working on and creating something that will hopefully be a little bit special and again, Destiny inspired. But that's for another video. So yeah, really nice, really easy to achieve, and yeah, I just took the time then to accent the gun with some gold paint which I inlaid into the engraving work I did as well. Admittedly, this is not my finest project. It hasn't turned out as crisp and as polished as I would have liked, and perhaps I achieved on other things such as the Gears of War gun. But it's nice nevertheless, and it's always good to learn a new skill. So there you go, that's my custom Dan Wesson 8-inch revolver. If you've enjoyed this content, if you like this sort of thing, please take the time to like and subscribe. The support is always welcome. And leave a comment if you'd like to see me do anything specific to a gun in the future. Thanks very much for your time. I'll see you in the next video.